Welcome again to the Coaching Masterclass. I am JJ Sarge, and this is where we help you build your coaching business for free. I want to talk about charging what you are worth and basically not commoditizing your business. If you go in charging the same exact amount as everyone else, or you underprice your service in hopes of getting more contact or more clients, you're going to lose. So let's talk about this. In today's competitive marketplace, setting the right price for your product or service is crucial. You don't want to be putting in a ton of work only to be getting underpaid, and you don't want to, which we'll talk about, charge so much without offering real value so that people are wondering if they should ever even go with you or questioning why they ever would. So the goal is to align your pricing with the value perceived by your customers. In fact, even so much so that no matter how much you are charging, they're perceiving more value, therefore they're willing to pay whatever price you ask, okay? So value perception is central to determining your pricing strategy. Customers are willing to pay more if they perceive higher value in your offer, okay? This principle suggests that your pricing should reflect not just the cost of production, but the overall value and benefits your customers receive. That's why we do want to focus on building that grand slam offer and the outcome that you're guaranteeing your clients can create. So price to value discrepancy is the difference between price, what someone would pay, and value, what someone gets, or perceived value, what they feel that they would get from it. So a grand slam offer, when we talk about this, should always give so much value that even when asking a huge price, people feel like it's a steal, okay? So let's look at this. Price to value discrepancy. If the price were to stay the same or whatnot, the point where you have a lot of cancellations, the point where your sales percentage goes down is when the value goes down and basically drops below the price point. Now, here's the thing. We're going to talk about this, that most coaches, when basically setting their prices, when they're commoditizing themselves, they're looking at the competition, and that's not always the best thing. There is no nobility in being the second most expensive. In fact, I'm going to talk about why there is nobility in being the most expensive and charging a lot. But we want to make sure that we're always giving more value than the price we ask. Because if you do that, and if you follow these steps to create your offer and build your offer the right way, customers or potential customers will always look at it as a steal. Wow, this is only $5,000, this is only $10,000, and look at all that I'm getting, right? So the simplest but often worst way to increase the gap, like I just said, the gap between what they're paying and what they're getting, between price value, is by lowering the price, right? Because if you just say, okay, if my value is, let's say at this point, if I keep the price below that, if I lower the price more and more, then it's like, higher perceived value, right? Which is true. However, the goal is not to get people to buy. The main objective is to serve others and make money, okay? So if you're dropping your price so much that then it's as if, well, the value is going up only because you're dropping the price, you're in a race to the bottom, and you're not even going to make the money that you wanted to when you started out. So if we focus instead on adding value, we can go infinitely higher. Lowering the price will only end up with a race to the bottom. Okay. So instead of lowering the price to increase that discrepancy, just keep the price the same or increase it, but then increase the value exponentially more. So the strategy with our offer really comes down to charging as much as possible while offering as much value as possible. And this creates a win, because then you're actually helping people accomplish the goals, right? You're adding as much value in what they're going to get from it, but then you're winning as well. So this is why you should charge so much that it hurts. Most coaches price based on the competition, but unfortunately most coaches don't have a strategy and don't make money. And even when they do, they may not profit as much as they'd like. So for example, if you're in the fitness space, like I'm an online fitness coach, I help people get in shape, whatever. You have your niche, you have your demographic that you work with, that you specialize in. Here's the thing. If you go out and you say, yeah, the average coach, they're charging $1,000 a month, $2,000, $3,000 package, whatever. Okay. But 88% of coaches, of online coaches, don't even make six figures. So if you're looking at the majority of people and finding out how much they charge, if you do the same thing, you may end up with the same outcome. Whereas the most successful people are charging more. Most of the time, when we're doing our research, we think, I can't charge that much because they have more experience, they have more clients, they have more this, they have more that. But here's the thing, charging more is a moral win. Let's look at this. A higher price increases emotional investment because it creates more buy-in if someone is investing. It increases perceived value. If you say, yeah, here's the thing, I do this, I charge this much, and it's higher than someone else by a substantial amount, most people will think, wow, you must be better. Okay? Increases results due to buy-in because people are more emotionally invested. It attracts better clients. It grows margins. If your customer acquisition cost is $500 and you're only charging $1,000, you only make $500. But if then you're spending that $500, or you have people helping you, it's going into maybe employees or other services, other things, just to serve that client, you're not making much money at all. Whereas if you were charging $2,000, $3,000, you have a lot more spread, right? It allows you to help more people. Why is that? Because you're finding better clients and you're getting better results for people. There's more buy-in. There's emotional investment more so. It's increased versus those clients who are not really vested. You're helping them win, which means you're helping more people get the results. And then it gives you peace because you're creating prosperity for yourself and you're helping people win. Okay? Now, the one thing I will say is the best clients come when, and this is from my personal experience, whether it's fitness stuff years ago or building coaching businesses, the best clients come when you're adding as much value as possible. A lot of people nowadays, they have this mentality of, I can only do so much, everything has to be perfect, I need to make sure that I can fulfill absolutely everything before I sell anything. Or they're worried about different tiers, I can't give too much in this group because then it takes away from the next group, whatever. Or best clients come when charging as much as possible. Now, why is that? I've heard it said, and I have seen it to be true as well. The best clients are the ones who are willing to pay the most. Those who are willing to pay the most are the best clients. Anytime you're in a situation where you're trying to provide a service, you're trying to provide value, you're helping people get results, you're teaching them, guiding them, whatever it may be, whatever the industry. Anytime someone is trying to nickel and dime you, anytime someone is going for bottom tier, expecting top tier results, you got yourself a problem. So you don't want to be catering to those people. If your mindset is, I want to help as many people as possible, hey, I get that. But they need to be qualified people that you actually want to work with, because otherwise you're going to get burnout, you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to spend all your time working with people that are not serious anyway. That if, for example, when we talk about guarantees, we talk about different ways to entice people and add more value. The goal is to add so much value, and having a guarantee is like a reassurance. But if people are only buying because there's a guarantee, you're going to have headaches. So, for example, I used to sell my first coaching business a $1,000 course, and then basically we worked our way up to $10,000 to $20,000 mentorship packages. And the $10,000 to $20,000 people were always cool, always great to work with. The people that would spend $1,000, or shoot, I even had products that were smaller, digital products that were smaller than that, working their way up in a funnel. The people that buy that stuff that do not commit to mentorship, do not really want mentorship, and they don't want answers and solutions, those were always the, hey, I need a refund, I need this, I need that. Like, not because the product itself, it's just because of who they were. So be very careful. You want to go in adding as much value as possible. Right? And if we look at this again, price to value discrepancy, if you always keep the value incredibly high and you follow these practices, if you're watching this and you're not a part of our coaching masterclass group, make sure you join it. There's a link in the description. It's free. if you're diving in and following these principles and practices to execute and create your offer, you're going to add value. You're always going to have value, and people will want to be buying in and working with you. And that is how you win.